It is 1850 on Thursday, June the 18th, and welcome back to, I think this is episode 66. However, I know for a fact that this is episode 4 of the mac and cheese taste test. Ooh. And tonight, I'm going to be eating the one and only Kraft dinner. Now, I live in Canada. Apparently, the box looks different in Canada. It's been rebranded as KD. Because Canada thinks it's cool for some reason. And so you can see at the bottom right, it says, what does it say? It says prepared in Canada. Préparé au Canada. So, of course, if I bring well, I guess I could bring the other ones out. The other ones are over there. I'm not going to bring them out. But clearly, Kraft Dinner has the best art, box art, out of all of the mac and cheeses. I don't understand why that is. It seems like a really simple thing. Like, this is just ugly as hell. This is like, I like the minimalistic appeal of that, but I feel like the mac and cheeses are missing some of the darker colors, and so KD has embraced the darker blue, which I appreciate. Here it is right here. The Kraft Dinner, the one and only Kraft Dinner. Once again, I did not use the entire packet, so that's good. I did take a smell test as the noodles were cooking. Smell test of the cheese mixture, and it smelled good. It looked like, you can't really tell from here, but as soon as I poured it in, it was that like neon, bright orange color. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I can't speak right now. Can't really tell right now, but yeah, it was, and it smelled good. It smelled good. It wasn't pungent like a lot of cheddar stuff can be. That's the word I was trying to think of when I was having the Matheson Food Company cheddar, original cheddar recipe on the second episode. That one smelled very pungent. This one does not smell very pungent. Okay, so let's get my bowl and we'll start eating. Now, once again, this is going to be, what are these called? The croissant episode. So we have another croissant episode, but I'm only having 12 this time. I decided I'm only going to have 12. Okay, so everyone's favorite part of the video, I don't know, it might just be my favorite part, where I dish out all the pasta. So I feel like Kraft Dinner, they've really tried to be creamy, like with their mixture. Like, that's their goal, is to try and make it as creamy as possible. I don't really care for that. Kraft Dinner in general, I'm not a fan. I've never really been a big fan of Kraft. I guess I was in the very beginning, but once I started eating like other brands, like once I learned about the President's Choice, I was like, what the heck is Kraft Dinner doing? Why are they so popular? Because they're like the big guys. They're the big guys. Meanwhile, honestly, I think they're like the worst ones. So I feel like their popularity is completely unjustified. Now, obviously, I think they were the first. I don't know. I don't know if it's true, but I feel I should have done a little more research, but I can't really. But I feel like, Kraft Dinner was the originator of the macaroni and cheese. Not like the dish itself, but the one where you have the package, right? The cheese package. I'm just wondering, I think that's probably enough. I'm going to leave a little bit left because I still have to eat a whole bunch of croissants, so I don't want to overdo it. I've got to maintain my lovely sexual figure. Okay, so let's stick this in the microwave. So I do have some more ranting and raving to do about Kraft Dinner. So 45 seconds. All right, so bring the box over. Make sure it's in frame when we're making the video. I'll show you what we're listening to. You can probably hear it a little bit. You probably think my computer is broken or something. That's actually one of the guitars from Cries from a Defective Mind. I think it's the first guitar, I think. And it just so happened, because with my guitars on those songs, I use my echo pedal. And sometimes it just like keeps looping over and over. Whenever I make like a weird sound, I'll just let it loop over and over and over. So it makes a lot of noise. And it just so happened to be for that part of the song. All right, so there you have it. Okay, let's get my spoon. The spoon is in the bowl. I mean, it smells good. Honestly, I think they're better. Craft Dinner's better now than it used to be. I did a little bit of research and apparently, so yeah, I have some time to talk. Do a bit of an intro while my Craft Dinner cools down. But I mentioned this, I touched on this yesterday, how apparently Craft Dinner was invented in the US by a Canadian. I forget what the guy's name was, or is, but he was living in Chicago. Apparently he had patented the powdered cheese thing, and he introduced it to pasta. Apparently Kraft Dinner, this was back in the 30s, like 1936, I believe. And then it was available in Canada in 37, I think. It either started to be manufactured or it was available. But I think it initially was started in the US. So, and apparently it was very popular during the war because it was of how easy it was to make. And it's still going strong, almost 100 years, almost getting there, 100 years of Craft Dinner. So this was definitely, probably, I'm assuming, like my first exposure to this type of food. And so I liked this as a kid. But you know, as the years went on, I preferred different brands to this. You know, this brand, this was the funny joke that I had thought of. This brand seems pretty trashy. Like, it doesn't taste the greatest, but it's always there. And so I see it as like trashy. So you just picture like this sloppy drunk chick with her like boob falling out. She's like outside stumbling. That's what I picture Craft Dinner. So that was supposed to be my funny joke of this taste testing video series. So please laugh at it because I thought it was very funny. Though my delivery is probably not very good. Once again, like I thought I added like enough liquid, but still the liquid just disappears. Yeah, so I transitioned towards towards other brands, like specifically the President's Choice White Cheddar brand. Also tried their regular cheddar brand, which we will, their regular cheddar variety, which we will be eating eventually. And so I took a hiatus from Craft Dinner because I liked the other ones better. And this was still like very popular. You know, apparently, even though this is, I guess, invented by a Canadian in the US, apparently to this day, Canadians, or Canada in general, buys or consumes 24% of the total global Craft Dinner. And that's insane because Canada isn't that big of a country. It has, I think the US has almost 10 10 times more people. So Canada is like 38 million. I know the US is like 350 or something like that. And yet we eat almost about a quarter of the global craft dinners. Now, I don't know where this is available. I know it's available in more places than the US and Canada, but I don't know how many countries it's available in. So, but I thought that was interesting. So let's take a bite. It does taste good. Yeah, what I was getting at, I took a hiatus from craft dinner. But, you know, I would go back to it every now and then. And I feel like it's better now than it was back in the day. I read this article on this website where they sort of compared the American and the Canadian versions of craft dinner. Apparently, the Canadian version doesn't have a lot of the extra ingredients that the American version does have. Sort of like the strange ingredients that might not be very natural or anything like that. With that being said, that article also had, I think they had an American and a Canadian, and they did a blind taste test of both versions, the Canadian and the US version. And both of them apparently liked the American version better. So, and apparently, there was also differing directions on how to make it. So apparently you're supposed to use a lot more butter in the US compared with Canada for when you prepare it. So that was interesting as well. But yeah, I feel like it probably tastes a little better these days than it did back in the day, at least in my opinion. However, like this is supposed to be the original version, right? It says original on it. So this is your basic cheddar craft dinner. In this one, the pasta is total garbage. I don't understand. This is supposed to be the most popular macaroni and cheese, right? And this pasta is pure garbage. It's like, it's flimsy. It doesn't stay together. All the other ones I've already had in this video series were way better. So I don't understand what the deal is with craft dinner. Obviously, they do this for a reason. I don't know if it's for cost-cutting purposes or if it's for other reasons, but their pasta is total garbage. Yeah, it doesn't even really taste like pasta. The texture isn't really pasta either. But, I mean, it is pretty tasty, so I can't really fault it too much. However, I already know that this is going to be the worst one. I'm not sure, I can't remember, because I also have to eat the white cheddar version of KD. It's been a while since I've had that, so I don't really remember. The pasta does look slightly different, so I wonder if it is. I'm not sure. It looks more curved on the white cheddar than it does in this. So I'm interested in checking that out. But so far, this is by far the worst of the worst pasta. But it still tastes good, so I mean, I'm not going to fault it too much. But in my opinion, like these other brands, they know what they're doing more than KD. So I don't understand. You know, it's also interesting that on the directions, it shows microwave first, how to cook it in the microwave. And I was reading it, and it seems like ridiculous. Why would you cook it in a microwave? It also seems like it'd be more dangerous because it would get way too hot. Whatever, but I don't know. Maybe that's another thing, like they have to try to optimize it for both microwave and for stovetop. I don't know. but whatever. I am very hungry. I am famished. Absolutely famished. Apparently you can also get these like little cups or something, microwavable cups. I guess, I don't know if you put the entire thing in the microwave, but they're like microwave ready. I think all you have to do is add water. I think that's what you do. I've never tried that before, but I've seen it. Never tried it though. There was also this other brand, I think like Velveeta or something. Velveeta or something. It starts with a V. A type of mac and cheese. I didn't buy it though. I've never had it before, and I also don't know if it was like specifically for the microwave or if it was also for stovetop. I don't know. I just decided to get, you know, the boxed ones that look like this. So. It tastes good. It does taste good though. I'll give it that. I mean, you can see I'm just like pounding it right now. I had like a version of Kraft Dinner. I think I said this yesterday. It had some type of different sort of pasta. It was like some sort of shape pasta. I forget what it was. I was looking for it at the grocery store, but I don't think they carry it anymore. It might have been a temporary thing. This was also probably 5 years ago or maybe even more. I don't remember, but it was so good. I just remember, I remember thinking it was so good, probably because the pasta was different and it was more pasta-ish. This doesn't feel like pasta to me. I don't know why. As soon as, like, I mean, you look at the thing here, the picture, and it gives you an idea of what it looks like, but then you open it, and I was looking at the dry pasta, and they were so small. Like they were long, but they were so thin. I guess they still are, in a way. Yeah, they still are, but they did plump up quite a bit, but still. So should I eat the whole thing? Probably, right? Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this. Yeah, I was looking at the back here. I think I mentioned this yesterday as well. Or on the front, it says prepared in Canada. So now it says prepared in Canada. There's also something that says made in Canada. These things, these terms that they use, that they put on food, apparently it needs some type of percentage of either the ingredients or the preparation or something that has to be done within the country that it says, so that you're allowed to like print this on the box. So I think if it said made in Canada, it needs to have 98%. It needs to be made 98% in Canada. I guess that it also includes the ingredients. I forget. I should have looked at that again before. However, I did a little bit of research when I was researching mac and cheese. So I wasn't able to, I did a little bit of Googling here and I wasn't able to get a definitive answer. However, I'm curious, you know, this says made in Canada, prepared in Canada. So I'm wondering, you know, the ones that are sold in the US, are they also prepared in Canada? I'm assuming not, but for some reason I couldn't get a definitive answer on that. So if you're an American, please post in the comments where your Kraft Dinner macaroni and cheese is prepared or made in, because I'm curious about that. Now, yeah, it says apparently it's done, like there's a factory in Montreal, I believe. So that's where we get all of our Kraft Dinner. I also know that this KD thing is exclusively Canadian, and in the US it says Kraft Dinner macaroni and cheese or something. So I don't remember when this was brought on the KD thing, but apparently it was a marketing gimmick to try to appeal to Canadians, since like they did a study or something and it showed that 80% of people, when you would say KD to them, they would think you were talking about Kraft Dinner. So except for all the lesbians who thought you were talking about Katie Lang. Is she a lesbian? I don't know. Maybe I'm getting mixed up here. That was a totally improvised joke I just made there. Okay. All right. Well, despite the total garbage pasta, this was good. I really like this. So it would have been even better with, you know, decent pasta. So I don't understand what Kraft Dinner is doing with their pasta, but it's clearly garbage. Horrible pasta. Absolutely horrendous pasta. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Kraft Dinner? What the heck, man? But, I mean, it did taste good, so what do I know? All right, so let's do some dishes. And let's get us some croissants. So this is going to be part 2 of the croissants. I forgot to warm up the water. Darn. Okay, well, I'll let it heat up. I had that genius idea yesterday, but then I forgot to implement it today. All right, so we'll get my milk and we'll get the croissants. I just looked at the empty cake container again. Oh man, 2 more days. Actually, it's just 1 more day, tomorrow. I just have to get through tomorrow and then I can have cake again. All right, so the milk is in the cup. Is the water warm? Yes, it is. Good. So I'm just gonna rinse off my spoon and my bowl. I don't have to do the pot because there's still macaroni in it. So what I did yesterday with the leftover macaroni, I stuck it in a Ziploc bag and I stuck it in the freezer, and then when garbage day comes around, I'm just gonna throw it away. So I apologize for wasting food, but what can you do? What can you do? Okay, so what do I need? I need my microwavable plate. I need my cutlery. And I need my milk. Where's my microwavable plate? Here it is. Can I do this? I mean, theoretically I can. Probably shouldn't, but I'll try. I have the milk on my plate. I just have to be very careful. Good. All right. And once again, here are the croissants. Here's the under the box shot. Oh, isn't that hot? Oh my God, look at how hot that is. Under the box croissants shot. Okay. So, let's open up the box, the container, and I'll give you a better shot of it. Oh yeah, this is my new place for the lid, right? Ooh, I just caught a whiff of all this. Oh man, look at this. Look at how good this looks. So I'm only having 12 this time. I think I had 14 yesterday. And I don't know, yeah. I think I also ate a slightly more pasta yesterday. Not that much more, but slightly more. Okay. So, I mean, you can't really see it, but I'll just leave it there anyway. So, got to put out 4. Yeah, to be honest, I don't even know if I'm going to make a video tomorrow. At least that's what I was thinking. Because I'm just worried that I'm going to be eating too much. However, that's the reason why I wanted to do 12 today. And if I do 12 again tomorrow, so I'm sort of on the fence on whether I'm going to make a video tomorrow or not. So I might have an off day, I might not, I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter for the viewer because these videos are published daily. Oh, I didn't really give you much of a close-up, did I? Yeah, so here's the before. Yeah, I really like how the cinnamon ones look with the icing, with the white icing. Before they go in the microwave. Once they come out of the microwave, all the icing looks like it's gone, but it's not gone, it's just sort of melted. And it's transparent, see-through. Okay, 22 seconds, that's the magic number. Oh man, I'm just thinking about cake, constantly thinking about cake. We will be doing the cookie episode eventually. I'm also looking forward to the cookie episode. You just got to get through these perishable items first. All right, here you go. You can see how it's all melted now. And then the chocolate's melted. Holy cow. So I've got 12 of these to eat. I forgot to turn the light off. Oh well. Them's the breaks. It's a nice, ooh, that's a nice shot. Oh my God. Oh my God. These are so good. Oh, we have a cinnamon one. And they taste like so much better when you warm them up like that. Wow. Is that ever good? Holy moly. Well, let's do it again. So we got 4 each. Yeah, so that means if I do have 12 tonight and 12 tomorrow, I will have some extra. How many extra? Either 1 extra or 2 extra, I forget. I think 2, because there were 40 total, right? And so I had 14 yesterday. I think I had 14 yesterday. I'll count at the very end. Okay, so this is trip number 2 to the microwave. I was about to put it in for 80 seconds. That's how much I put my blueberries in for. My frozen blueberries in the morning. 80 seconds. So that's where that came from. Yeah, I can't remember how much these cost, by the way. 1 container of 2-bite mini croissants. I don't think they're very expensive. Once again, I should have kept the receipt. And I don't think it says it on it. No, it doesn't say on the package. Oh. All right, part 2. Part 2. Oh man, I think I have to blow my nose first. Give me a second over here. Alrighty. Mission accomplished. I still can't believe there's only 36 grams of sugar in 12 of these. That doesn't seem right. I don't understand how that's possible. They're like drenched in, drizzled in chocolate and icing. But apparently there's only 9 grams of sugar per 3. So oh man. Oh my God. I can't believe I've been eating like this for so long. What is this, episode 65? No, 66? Crazy. All right, 2 more chocolates. This is the last round. Yeah, so at the end of this, there's going to be 7 each, which is 14, which means I will have 2 left if I eat 12. My foot is killing me. But yet, we have 7 left, 7 remaining. So we have 6 on the bottom, and then we have a loose one of each. So these are, I'm not gonna, so if I don't do an episode tomorrow, it's not like I'm going to throw these away. These are good until the 26th, so that's plenty of time. I will be eating them eventually. I guess though, if I don't eat them tomorrow, then I'll have to wait because I'm going to be eating cake on Saturday. So, but I will get back to these. I will finish them. I do want to make a video tomorrow. It's just, I don't know if my stomach can handle it. Because I've got to wake up very early on Saturday morning and go into town, get groceries. So, I want to be at my best. Anyway, I'll figure that out tomorrow. All right, 22 seconds. Last one. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Yummers. Oof. Okay. Once again, here's a nice shot. Nice rotating shot. All right, here goes nothing. Should I do bite for bite? For the last two? I say I do bite for bite. All right, so cut in half. Let's lick off the knife like a cool guy. Oh yeah, I'm so cool. I lick off knives. That's how cool and dangerous I am. Okay, here goes nothing. Oh man, was that ever good? Oh man. All right, so let's have some water. Wash it down with some water. Okay, so yet another episode concluded. And not only that, this is our 4th episode of the mac and cheese saga, which means we've gone through all of the brands. So the first episode was Annie's, second episode was Matheson Food Company, third episode was President's Choice, fourth episode was KD/Kraft Dinner. And so now we're going through the brands again, but we're having a different variety. So I was switching between white cheddar and regular cheddar. However, I think, because I think the priority is to switch between the brands the same way, to go through the brands the same way I went the first time. So I think I'm going to go back to the Annie's. That's the one I had in episode 1. So for episode 5, whether that's tomorrow or Saturday, I'm not sure. But I'm going to have Annie's. However, I already ate the white cheddar Annie's, so I'm going to be having the regular cheddar Annie's. So we're going to be having back-to-back regular cheddars. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about that. But what can you do? Really looking forward to eating that because the white cheddar Annie's was excellent. They had the shells. So far, pasta-wise, I think it's Matheson Food Company is leading the way. They used the tubetti. That tasted the greatest. Like the pasta. It was the thickest pasta. Well, yeah, it was the President's Choice pasta. The macaroni was also quite substantial. And it didn't fall apart like this stuff. It's like they were actual noodles, macaroni noodles. But I did like the Matheson Food Company tubetti noodles the best, I'd say. Followed by the shells, followed by the macaroni from President's Choice, and a deep, way in the back, we have the KD pasta. Now, this tasted very good, so I mean, it's not horrible, obviously. I ate the whole thing. I'm just sort of shocked and appalled by how bad their pasta is. So I don't know if they can fix that. I'm assuming not, because I feel like it's been that way for a long time. So, but yeah, next time it's going to be Annie's shells, regular cheddar. So I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, I really honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be making a video tomorrow. So next time you see me, I might be eating cake for dessert. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah, so I already mentioned, I think my priority is to try the Oreo cheesecake if they have it. So they might not even have it. If they don't have it, then I'm definitely, I desperately want another one of those banana chocolate cakes if they have it. So it all depends on the availability and the best before dates. So, but yeah, only tomorrow's the last day. Tomorrow's Friday, so Saturday morning, going to the grocery store, and I'll find out what I'm going to be eating for dessert that night. And then I still have one more thing of these, the croissants, and I have the cookies. Is that it? Is that all I have? I think that's all I have for desserts. So cake, these croissants, and the cookies. I mean, I do still have some chocolate bars, but I've already eaten those. I mean, I could do another chocolate bar episode, probably. But I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do that. Another chocolate bar episode. So what I'm trying to say is these episodes might be becoming less frequent. So I think every time I go to the grocery store, I'll just get like a cake and some type of pastry, and I'll just make like 5 videos, and then I just won't make a video until next time I go to the grocery store. So that's a possibility. I still do want to go back into town, back to the superstore, back into Milton. I just have to figure out what I'm going to buy, you know? I've already got these croissants like 3 times, so I don't... Honestly, yeah, I really have to think about what I would get. I think the main reason I want to go back into town is to make a video on location where I eat something, but I don't know what I would eat. One idea is Mary Brown's. I could go back to Mary Brown's. So that's an idea. You know, there's this other, in that plaza, in the Superstore Plaza, there's this place called Heritage Fish and Chips. Now, I'm not a fish and chips guy. However, I've been there once with my buddy, with my friend. And they have this item on their menu, and it's a deep fried Mars bar. So they do sell the deep fried Mars bar. I had that back then. That was probably maybe 15 years ago. And it was pretty good. So I don't know, maybe I should do that one day. That'd be kind of funny. Anyway, this is all stuff I have to think about. So I will see you next time. Don't know if that's gonna be tomorrow or Saturday, but stay tuned.